News, y'all. Family Matters star Bryton James reveals that a plan for an animated reboot with the original cast of Family Matters is still floating around. He thinks there's a very strong possibility that this will actually happen. For those that don't know, Bryton James played young Richie Crawford for 8 seasons on the show. He says that he wants to see the timeless sitcom brought back to life in a new, fresh way. In the age of reboots, prequels, sequels, and spin-offs, Bryton James has a novel plan for bringing back Family Matters. The actor who spent 8 seasons playing adolescent Richie Crawford on the beloved sitcom tells Entertainment Weekly exclusively that he's had an idea to take the show and turn it into an animated series, which would involve taking the old episodes and modernizing them and kind of starting from scratch for the new generation. James, who recently crossed over from The Young and the Restless to the soap's new sister series, Beyond the Gates, says that he got pretty far along with his animated Family Matters idea, including getting a production company in line to finance and bringing everybody on board, even the breakout star Jaleel White, who plays Steve Urkel. But adds it's sitting in Warner Bros. Hands right now. That plan is still kind of floating around out there, and I'm still trying to pursue it. A source familiar with Warner Bros. Animated tells EW that they are aware of James' interest in doing a reboot, but that the project has not moved beyond that. Representatives from Warner Bros. TV didn't immediately respond to Entertainment Weekly's request for a comment. Family Matters aired for 9 seasons from 1989 to 1998. The comically heartfelt look at the lives of the Winslows, a middle-class black family living in Chicago, helped launch careers of Reginald VelJohnson, that's who played Carl Winslow, Jaleel White, who played Steve Urkel, and James, who played Carl's nephew. Several members of the core Family Matters cast have passed away since, including Michelle Thomas, who played Mara Monkhouse, who died from a rare cancer just months after the series finale aired, and Rosetta Lenore Estelle Winslow, who died of complications from diabetes in 2002. But James said it wasn't hard to get the rest of the cast on board with his reboot idea, especially since a 2018 reunion helped put me back in touch with a lot of the cast that I kind of fallen off from. He adds, I still very much keep in touch with Thelma Hopkins, who played Mom, Darius McCary, who played Eddie Winslow. He said he just saw Kelly Shane Williams, who played Laura. A lot of them are living. He said, I think Joe Marie, Peyton, and Kelly are living on the East Coast. So they came out for Thelma's birthday a few years back, and I got to see them again. He says Jaleel, he's kept in touch with him on and off, a great mentor at this point in his life. As for why James thought to go the animated route rather than the traditional sequels like the Sex and the City follow-up and Just Like That or the Big Bang Theory prequel with young Sheldon, the actor explains, I just remember these episodes, some of the storylines they come up with for Urkel. You know, I remember he created a tornado in the kitchen one time, so they kind of bordered on fantasy, and you could really take the show into animation and have us voice our characters again. Needing only to capture the original cast's voices, not assemble them for the traditional production, also means we wouldn't have to all be in the same city to come together again to be on camera. James adds with a laugh, Jaleel wouldn't have to put that outfit on either, and we could still deliver what the show did for the audience, for families especially, and revamp it for the new generation. In White's 2024 memoir, Growing Up Urkel, said that he'd already said no to a reboot pitched to him by Family Matters producer Bob Boyett. The series would have seen Urkel and his longtime crush Laura finally get married and have a kid, Steve Urkel Jr., who would have been the focus. He said he turned it down for several reasons. The script would have been the same and the show's dynamics no longer work in the world that we live in today. He instead pitched something semi-autobiographical. The fuck, is that a word? Semi-autobiographical. Holy shit, I didn't even know that was a fucking word. He said, we cast a good actor and a smart kid to play Jaleel, a 12-year-old from Pasadena who lands the part of Steve Urkel. We depict all the challenges that came with growing up in the 90s and being the kid who played that character. The show could explore dynamics between me and my parents struggling to adapt to fame while trying to live regular lives. The series never came to pass. As for James, he believes there are fans of Family Matters who would be interested in his version, which he hopes would allow the show to be brought back to life in a new, fresh way. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Shout out to Bryton James, who played young Richie on Family Matters. I love this idea. I like his idea better than Jaleel White's idea. That's the guy that played Steve Urkel. Um, when you look at the world today, right? There's no longer any TV shows like Family Matters, like that 70s show. Like, there's no more shows like that, right? If anything, the TV shows that are still around from the 90s are like animated shows like South Park, Family Guy, TV shows like that. I think that animation connects more to the kids than seeing the people in person, right? Because think about it, right? If you were to reboot Family Matters and you were to have people show up in person instead of animation, everybody is much older, right? Like, if you look at the guy, Bryton James, who played young Richie Crawford, like, everybody remembers when he was on Family Matters when he was a kid. He was famous for having that long, he had the nice hair, you know what I'm saying? He had the nice long curly hair. This guy's bald now. You know what I'm saying? Like the nigga is literally bald now. I'm going to make sure I put a picture of him in my video. But yeah, Bryton James is bald now. He looks nothing like he looked when he was on the show as a kid, which is normal, right? That show was decades ago, right? The only person that really still looks the same is Steve Urkel. Eddie Winslow still looks fairly the same. Laura still looks the same. Carl Winslow still looks the same because he was already older when the show was on. But you don't want to bring everybody back and they look like fucking dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? So if you restart the show as an animation, you can have all of the characters pretty much still play themselves as when the show was in its prime, right? Like, you can still have Bryton James voice young Richie to where he's still a kid in the animation. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a good idea. I hope Warner Bros. Takes a chance on it because Family Matters is one of the greatest TV series shows of all time. I put it in the same category as I put Martin, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think out of all of those shows from back in the day in the 90s, I think Family Matters is the most underrated. Because if we're being honest, I would say that Family Matters, it might be the funniest one out of all of them. Obviously Martin is hilarious, right? But Family Matters is like, it's those jokes on Family Matters aren't forced. Like, Family Matters is just a naturally funny show. You know what I'm saying? I think Martin is mainly funny because of, obviously Martin is a comedian. I would say other than Martin, the only person that's really funny is Cole. Tommy wasn't really that funny to me. I think the jokes that they cracked on Tommy not having a job was funny, but as far as Tommy cracking jokes, he wasn't funny. I don't think Pam's jokes were funny. Gina wasn't funny. Martin and Cole were pretty much the comedians of that show, right? Let's be honest, right? Obviously, Martin played a bunch of different characters. Shanae, he played Otis, right? He played Jerome. I said Jerome's in the house, you know what I'm saying? But Family Matters was just naturally funny, bro. Like, I don't think any of the jokes on Family Matters were forced. It was just an all-around funny family show, man. It was much more dynamic, in my opinion, than the Martin show. So, yeah, man, I look forward to seeing this reboot. My only thing is, bro, is I hope Jaleel White's ego doesn't stop this show from happening. Because think about it. If you guys listen to the article that I just read, right? Jaleel White said that he was pitched an idea to pretty much reboot Family Matters, but it would basically be him. It'll be Laura. It'll be him and Laura getting married. They would have a kid, and there would be a Steve Urkel Jr. He turned that down, right? He turned that down, and he pitched his own idea of the show, and it got turned down. So Jaleel White, who was the star of that show, right? How is he gonna feel if Bryton James, who played young Richie Crawford, if he can get Warner Bros. To sign off on this, there's a chance that because of Jaleel White's ego, him being the star of that show, because remember, Steve Urkel, he was not even going to be a regular cast member on this show. He appeared in a couple episodes, and he stood out so much that they ended up making him a full-time character, and eventually he became the star of the show. That wasn't supposed to happen, you know what I'm saying? So how is he going to feel if a cast member that didn't even play a huge role on the show can get them to bring the show back instead of him? He might feel some type of way about that. Is he going to be cool with them pretty much bringing back the original cast and them just basically redoing the whole show in animation form? You know? Is he going to be cool with that? Is his ego going to allow him to accept that? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this, man. It's your boy Wavy. Stay Wavy TV. Make sure y'all subscribe, thumbs up the video. Most importantly, leave a comment. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know, do you guys want to see a Family Matters reboot animation? Let me know in the comment section. I'm out.